It's 6-5 on. Pennycamp just half a point easier, 7-2 out to 4s, and Diffident half a point easier, 11-2 to 6-1. Drifting though from 14s to 16s, both Bari and Painters Row. Chilly Billy has gone out to 33-1 from 25s to join Nuamis. In from 40s to 33-1, Green Perfume. Pipe Major 10 points easier now, out from 40s to 50-1. It's 150-1 from 100s. Zeb, and at that same price, 150-1, Silka Blanca, and that's a complete show.
So on weather that would grace any great occasion, first classic of 1995, only minutes away. And this is the horse whose trees have been used up, the amount of words, hype Matt called it this morning, written and said about him, but whose demeanour and disposition are certainly those that you like to see in a horse that you know is 7 or 8 minutes time going to expend his energy. He's certainly not wasting any on what's a hot day. Just a little bit on his toes now. The maroon, pale blue silks are his. We look first at Bari, Willie Carson, distinguishing cap for Hamdan Al Maktoum. Willie wears the first colours, blue and white striped cap, followed out by Celtic Swing, maroon, pale blue sleeves. He will be followed next by, well, that's Diffident. Chilly Billy presumably is going alone. Nuamis, Richard Hills, a black cap, followed by Painters Row, John Reed, pale blue colours. Supposed to canter down at intervals, but I think although you can't miss a parade, you can parade out of order, or if you like, canter down out of order, and certainly Chilly Billy can take a very strong hold. It's only sensible that his connections have sought to do that. I presume that's the case anyway. So I presume it will be Pennycamp who turns next to cut the walkway. Green Perfume, also a strong puller, has gone early, just lobbing down, taking everything in, just shied a little there at whoever was on the rails. So if he's your selection, you can see that he's keen, but he's not in any way out of control for Richard Quinn, just lobbing along on a long rein. So important. Remember Zaphonic 2 years ago almost got away with Pat Enery in the canter down. That's about 6 furlongs away, back at the paddock. Pipe Major, white, black sash, red sleeves, yellow cap. The colours belonging to Lord Scarsdale on Tyrrell. Winner of the race himself. And then Pennycamp. 2 handlers. Alert, takes everything in, did so at every last time. He's about to lead, but Celtic Swing on his way down. Just a nice steady canter. Nothing remarkable really about this horse except his temperament. Remarkable, that is, until he gets into racing performance. Certainly as an individual, while he looked wonderfully well and his temperament is something to admire, he's just an ordinary horse to my way of thinking. Bari preceding him, Willie Carson. Apologise if we're not quite as fluent as we should be. I mean, this parade has been something of a shambles. It's supposed to go down at regular intervals and in a strict order. And if it was announced that some were going to parade out of order...
Well, to be fair, I mean, I know that Nick Lees might come in for a little bit of criticism here, but it wasn't his fault at all. It was Green Perfume, in actual fact. He was getting on his toes, and Richard Quinn made the right decision. He let the horse go out of the parade ring. He got completely boiled over. He's a horse who's got his problems at being settled, and it was the fact that he went out first and really took things into his own hands, but probably rightly so, that caused the upset. Let's have a look at Diffident. Real little ball of a horse, this. Just not looking at his best in his slower paces.
Well, it's more than that, John. He's an awful mover. If you didn't know that he was a real racing machine, you couldn't possibly back him, could you? It's important to stress that once he opens out, he's totally different. Shouldery and ears pricked, not really a care in the world, Diffident. Just looking at what's going on the other side of the rails, so he's nice and relaxed.
Let's have a look at his stable companion now, Pennycamp. Very versatile performer, this. Won in bottomless ground over at Longchamp and then came over here on a much faster surface. An awful lot to like about him, and although they haven't done a lot of work together, Thierry Jarny feels that he's a fair bit in front of stable companion Diffident. Lot to like about him. Already had the one run so far this season, came from a long way off the pace of a slow run pace. So although he looks as though he's going to improve when he goes further over 1.5 miles, he's certainly not short of speed.
And it was last year's Racing Post Trophy on softish ground at Doncaster that brought the superlatives out in clusters about Celtic Swing and led Timeform's annual, respected as it is, to suggest in the memorable phrase that the 2,000 guineas was, I quote, a foregone conclusion. Admittedly, Kevin Darley's instructions were to win as far as he could to gain the highest possible rating, but nobody expected it to be quite as far as this.
Celtic Swing with 1/4 mile to go. It's 5-6 clear of Anas Mirabilis, who's no Celch. Joyosh is flat to the boards. Don Corleone has won big races. Absolutely annihilated by Celtic Swing. Clear by 8 with a furlong to go. Keeping up the work. He's going clear by 10. This is a good horse. Celtic Swing clear by 12. He's not stopping. The crowd are roaring home. Celtic Swing takes the Racing Post Trophy. This is impressive. Celtic Swing it is. Anas Mirabilis is second.
This is the horse many people think can beat Celtic Swing today. This is Pennycamp, one of 2 horses sent over from France. And let's remind ourselves of the finishing speed he showed, and he certainly impressed our commentator GG when beating one of his rivals today, Green Perfume, in the generous Dewhurst last October.
Pennycamp's covered up behind them, Green Perfume, black and white colours as they pass the 2 wide of Stiletto Blade. Anybody's race, they've got just over a furlong to go. Eltish going for home, far under pressure. Pennycamp is absolutely cruising and got a run, but on the outside, Green Perfume in black and white. This Green Perfume, who's come to take Eltish. Pennycamp back in third. He's going to have to quicken up if he's going to land this. They're inside the final furlong, and Green Perfume, Eltish battling back. Here goes Pennycamp for the surge on the outside. This is a good horse. Pennycamp wins it. Pennycamp is the winner.
Little Diffident. He's on the pony side, but he's got the acceleration of a whippet. The way he cut down Araya in the free handicap, it fairly took your breath away.
Here comes Diffident in the white sleeve jacket on the extreme right. Is going to be tested through the 7th furlong as Harrier has flown and gone for home. Harrier cleared by 2 to Diffident coming strong now the stand side of Citadine. And this Diffident is quickening up to come and take Harrier. Whoa, look at this. This is class. Diffident, Harrier is battling back though. They've pulled well clear. Diffident takes it, Harrier in second.
But for many people, this is the best long shot in the race. This is Painter's Row. He might be a bit of a character in the stables at home, but on the track, he's devilishly difficult to beat, as he showed here 2 weeks ago when beating 2 of his rivals today, Nuamis and Chilly Billy, in the Craven Stakes.
Painter's Row it is. In the striped cap, Nuamis the outside. Yellow colours is Montjoy. Chilly Billy up on the outside. Denny Way starts to drop away. Come down the dip. Painter's Row, Nuamis the outside. Here goes Montjoy with a charge next to the rails. They come inside the final furlong, a wall of 3, Painter's Row. Nuamis and Montjoy battling hard the rail, but it's Painter's Row and Nuamis who fight out the finish as they race up towards the line, and Painter's Row is going to take it at the post. Painter's Row it is. Painter's Row, a photo second, very close call. Montjoy, Nuamis could well be the other way round.
So much fuss just about whether one horse will run faster than another. The ludicrous, glorious absurdity of racing captured for all of us as we wait for this. But it is glorious. It's got 350 years of history, and these animals, remember, are the I refer to the horses, not the spectators, are the fastest weight-carrying creatures the world has ever seen, and let's say it carefully, I think England's greatest gift to the animal kingdom. 95 seconds it'll take to run the straight Rowley Mile, which has been here since Charles II first galloped his Hakko Rowley up, and it's going to be a great tradition that we see this afternoon.
And how different the atmosphere is today than it was 2 years ago with the last hot pot run of the Guineas Zaphonic. Then there was partisanship. The camps were polarised, some believing Zaphonic was a wonder horse, others believing it was nothing and hoping it would prove to be a poor animal. It wasn't. It broke the track record. Here, even though you may not believe in Celtic Swing, you want it to win. Racing wants it to win, and it has been backed. The odds have been laid on it. It's now 5-4 on Celtic Swing, and Ladbrokes The Magic Sign are backing it. The French horse Pennycamp is out now, out to 9-2. Pennycamp. France have won it 10 times, and 13 Dewhurst winners have won it, but there's opposition in the market to Pennycamp. It's then 6-1 against Diffident, whose sire Nureyev was disqualified in 1980, winner of the free handicap, and 3 free handicap winners have won the Guineas. The last was Mystico in 91. It's 16-1 bar the 3. That brings in Bari and also Painter's Row. Best of the double carpet, 33-1 chances, and now 25-1 in places is Green Perfume, who has been 40-1. Noir misses a bit of money for that at 33-1, 10,000 to 300, and it's 50-1 Pipe Major. But I want to do stats for you. 74 favourites and 186 runnings have won the Guineas. There have been 27 odds-on winners, and this century 2 odds-on losers of the 9 odds-on chances. Appalachian 74 and Bayardo in 1909. Will Celtic Swing become the 3rd odds-on failure in the 2000 Guineas this century? Do you believe it will?
So let's have a look at the eye catchers. Plenty of good-looking horses on parade here. Going down to the start, it was Painter's Row who took Graham's Eye. Green Perfume took My Eye walking round the paddock, and Celtic Swing, plenty of money for him down on the course. Well, we watched him go down Diffident. It's not surprising he didn't catch Graham's Eye. So there he is, the hot favourite. As Brough has just said, there are a lot of people who would love to see this horse win, even those that haven't backed him. And there'd be quite a few who've backed other horses, but still would be quite happy to lose their money if that fella can just get his head in front. A quick last look at the betting show.
Yes, John, and Celtic Swing, who had firmed into 11-8 on, is back to 5-4 on. Pennycamp out to 9-2. It's 6 now Diffident, at 16-1 Bari and Painter's Row. 25's Green Perfume, money for that one. It's 33's Chili Billy and Noamis, 50's Pipe Major, and 150-1 Zerb and Silka Blanca.
And just 2 to go in now. Pipe Major and Bari. Bari will be the last. Looks like Chili Billy there in the noseband. The stalls handler just holding on to the horse's ear. It's been a bit fractious. Anxious moments this before the Guineas. Bari, the last one to go forward under Willie Carson, nearest to us. Just about set. Racing in the Madigan's 2000 Guineas then, and they came out in a good line, though Chili Billy was a little slow to stride, 2 lengths behind the remainder. Zeb is the first to go on. The early pace is not that strong. Nearest to us is Silka Blanca, and they're all pulling hard for their heads. Noamis is 3rd, Pipe Major towards the outside, and Celtic Swing sitting in about 5th place under Kevin Darley at the moment in the big sheepskin noseband, and then back to Diffident, Bari towards the stand side running rail, and then Painter's Row, Green Perfume towards the outside. Held up at the back, Chili Billy, and Pennycamp is last of all. They've covered 2.5 furlongs. Silka Blanca and Zeb vying for the lead. They go head and head. Pipe Major back in 3rd at nearly 40 miles an hour. Celtic Swing is back in 4th on the outside then of Noamis, followed next by Painter's Row. They're heading down to the final half mile at halfway in the Madigan's 2000 Guineas. Here's Graham Good.
The odds-on favourite Celtic Swing is on the left of the main group in the light sleeve jacket, coming there, and it's the rank outsiders that are putting the pace to the race. Orange colour Silka Blanca past the 3, then comes Zeb on the outside. Here goes Celtic Swing, the outside of Pipe Major. Bari behind that, and then comes Nuamis. Pennycamp's ball to the very wide outside. Painters Row with a run, but it's Celtic Swing that strikes the front as they come past the bushes, and Celtic Swing is sent about his business and has gone 2 ahead of Pipe Major, who's running bravely, coming down into the dip. And it's Celtic Swing in the lead. Here comes Bari the rail, and Pennycamp is stretching on the outside. They're inside the final furlong now, and it's head-to-head with Pennycamp, who's sprinting into a lead. Celtic Swing is fighting back, but Pennycamp's going to take it. Celtic Swing, one last thrust. Pennycamp, Celtic Swing, Bari the 1-2-3, then Pipe Major and Nuamis, then came Diffident, Painters Row. The field trail back to Green Perfume, who was last of all, and so in a tactical race, victory in the Madigan's 2,000 guineas has gone to number 8, Pennycamp. This is the bearing horse who has maintained his unbeaten record, owned by Sheikh Mohammed, ridden by Andre Fabre, trained by Andre Fabre, ridden by Thierry Jani, for whom this is the first English classic. Celtic Swing is second. Officially it's a photo between those two, a photo call between those two, but Celtic Swing was taken for speed in the last 100 yards. He was rallying Celtic Swing. Celtic Swing's jockey Kevin Darley had him in exactly the right position. He took up the running with 2 to go, but it was Pennycamp who had the speed in the last 100 yards to come and take him. Celtic Swing's battled back, but Pennycamp is the stronger at a mile on the day, and another winner for Andre Fabre. Pennycamp at 9-2 has taken this the Madigan's 2,000 guineas and has slotted yet another piece into the classic puzzle of Sheikh Mohammed. This, the French 1000 and the Derby are the only races, the only classic races in Europe that he has yet to win. This just leaves the Derby and the French 1000 guineas for a complete set. Pennycamp then unbeaten in 6 out of 6, brilliantly ridden by Thierry Jani. Second horse home, Celtic Swing. Third was Bari, and I think we'll find fourth was Pipe Major. What a cracking race he has run for Jason Weaver.
A wonderful performance from the French colt and also from French jockey Thierry Jani, and really no excuses in the race. They didn't go much of a gallop, or didn't appear to go too silly a pace early on. Very pleased looking at Thierry there, and I thought that probably once the race began in earnest there might be 1 or 2 hard luck stories. That didn't appear to be the case, and Andre Fabre, well, you can't heap enough praise on him. I mean, just obviously the best trainer in Europe, if not in the world. Travels horses everywhere, and phenomenal record, 63 runners and something like 20 winners, most of which have been Group, and plenty of Group 1 winners out of those as well. Let's just have a look, because it didn't disappoint at all, this race. It was built up as the best race for some years, and everything went right. Celtic Swing, Kevin Darley in the right position always throughout the race, but as they've just met the rising ground, and Celtic Swing, Pipe Major's run a smashing race to hold on to be fourth. He was always up there in the van. Pennycamp, Jim, still got 2 or 3 lengths to make up.
Yeah, but you could see coming down into the dip that Celtic Swing's head goes up. Perhaps he's just not striding out on the ground. Pennycamp joins him. You see from here his momentum is much stronger, and he goes lengthens yet again really well up the hill. The first 2 they don't really pull that far ahead. Bari's run another sound race. Pipe Major back in 3rd with Nuamis 5th. Pipe Major 4th, Nuamis 5th. Now, Thierry Jani's horse got in front, just run a little bit lazily. Celtic Swing rallies gamely, as Graham said, another thrust, but it's the Frenchman's day, and he's there by a good head. Well, there's the runner-up. And there's the 4th. What a fine race he ran. It'd be very easy for Sheikh Mohammed to have pulled one of these out.
Pennycamp wins the 2,000 guineas in the style so many of us believed he could. He had too much speed for Celtic Swing. Drifted in the betting, though, out to 9-2, second favourite Pennycamp. It did touch 5-1, and it was only a 7-2 chance in the offices this morning. But what a Vodafone derby we've got set up for now. A Celtic Swing counter-attacking in the last few strides, back down to 5-4 on. It touched even money on the course, with the third, Bari, a 14-1 chance. The distance was ahead and 2 lengths. And 1 or 2 stats for you. That's the 11th time France has won the 2,000 guineas. They won it with Zaphonic 2 years ago, Zeno in 82, and you go back to Radosto in 1933. It's the 14th time the winner of the Dewhurst here in October has come on to win the Guineas, and the 5th time that's happened since the war. Zaphonic, our Grand Signor, Wallow, Nijinsky and Crapello. It's the 9th classic for owner Sheikh Mohammed. It's the 1st classic for jockey Thierry Jane, and the 4th for that brilliant trainer, Andre Fabre. The speed horse won. Pennycamp wins the races. The height now is blown on Celtic Swing. That 15-pound clearing time form was always nonsense. Proved to be here. In goes Thierry Jane. A brilliant race from last to first. The speed horse wins the 2,000 guineas. What will happen at Epsom, though, early in June? Will that be the same result, or can Celtic Swing reverse it, or maybe Presenting can beat the pair of them? For the classics really set up now. A brilliant finish for the head winner, Pennycamp, on the shoulders. 9-2, second favourite.
Andre Fabre surrounded by admirers and supporters and flanked by his son. We were here in the Dewhurst, and said after then it was the Derby you thought this horse would win.
Yes, I hope it's just a step, you know. I think it's a great horse, and now he just have achieved the first leg of his 3-year-old career, you know.
Since we talked in the Dewhurst, it's a long winter for a trainer.
Yeah.
Did everything go all right, or were there days when you have
everything goes fluently? I mean, it's a very easy horse to train, very laid back, very sound, always in good health. You know, does everything what you ask him. So I had not too much worry with him.
And coming today, you had a memorable phrase. You said you hadn't watched Celtic Swing because you didn't train him. But nonetheless, there was a tremendous amount of hype of how good was Celtic Swing. What was your plan to beat him?
I had no plans. I mean, I rely on the horse, you know, what's the plan there? You know, you have to train and ride the horses following their own ability, you know. If you start to make plans, you lose the battle usually. Yeah?
And how good is this horse? Because obviously people in Britain were saying Celtic Swing was the best horse they've seen for ages. Was it the Celtic Swing wasn't very good, or this horse is exceptional?
I personally think it's exceptional. I mean, unbeaten horse, you know, beating a very good horse. And now it's the first step, as I said, of his career. He has to win a Derby and beat the older horse, and then we can sleep quietly, you know, and say he's the best horse of the year.
He's won here over a mile. That was the first step, but he goes up to 1.5 miles. Nonetheless, it's another half mile. Do you think he's absolutely certain to get that distance?
I think he's not 100% sure, but I've noticed in the past that all the great horses, most of the great horses, don't really stay, you know. If you're sure that they will stay, usually you get 3rd or 4th in the Derby, you know.
You know, he's got the speed.
Dancing Brave, Mahmoud, I mean, Dancing Brave was beaten, but, you know, it's better to have too much speed than sure to stay.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell us, before the Derby, do you see him out in public again, or does he go straight to it?
No, he goes straight for it.
We wait to see you there, and many congratulations and more
luck.
Yes,
many thanks.
Thank you.
Well, Pennycamp was bought for $40,000 at the Keeneland September sale. You think back not so long ago, Maktoum family paid $10.2 million for a horse. Well, this one was $40,000, and what a buy. He's by Bering, who's having a fantastic run in Europe. Bering, unlucky to be around in the same year as Dancing Brave, was a French Derby winner himself. Son of Arctic Tern, good, high-class middle-distance horse. Arctic Tern, a son of the great Seabird. Coral Dance, the dam, has produced umpteen winners, notably Nasser El Arab, who won the Prix Ocar and the Coup de la Maison Lafitte, and then 4 Grade 1 events in America. He's got the pedigree all right.
And the SP on the Madigan's 2,000 guineas. First number 8, Pennycamp at 9-2. Second number 2, Celtic Swing, the 5-4 on favourite. And the third number 1, Bari, at 14-1. And the total returns: win number 8, £5.40. Places 8, £1.70. 2, £1.20. and number 1, £2 and 10 pence. The dual forecast paid £3.
And the